Squeezing Tight as Possible, a Percabeth one-shot fanfiction. Truth be told, she has been nervous since the second he asked her to join him at the house party. Truth be told, house parties aren't much of her scene in general. Annabeth Chase has never been the type of girl to go out on Friday nights and get wasted at some random person's house. She's the type to stay home with a good book, curled up in her bed, or maybe studying for next week's math exam. She's more comfortable writing her college essays at 12 a.m. than she would be at some kickback, chatting it up with random people she's never met before because, let's face it, she's socially awkward and would totally say something that makes everyone get up from the sofa. She's just not a party girl. And look, Percy Jackson, her best friend in the whole entire world, is also not the type of guy to get wasted and dance on a table. Leo may be that guy. He may enjoy the wicked high from getting crossed and trying to build up a crowd of idiotic drunk high schoolers from atop a wooden table that's about 2 minutes away from crashing to the ground. But Percy is not. He is, however, the star of their varsity swim team, and therefore is dragged by his teammates to go along to these parties. Annabeth has never been jealous of these excursions. She's not good at peopling or being nice and friendly to strangers, so imagine her surprise and panic when Percy Jackson, her best friend in the whole entire universe, asks her to join him at the mid-year party right before school let out for Thanksgiving break. She is baffled. She is bewildered. She is shocked. She is about 3 beats away from judo flipping him in retribution. I know you don't love going out and socializing, but it's about to be my final season, and I'd like for you to come with me, Percy says in the shyest tone of voice and a puppy dog look in his eyes. He knows she's going to say no. You're right. I don't love going out, Annabeth says stiffly. But could you at least go to keep me company? I'll take you home after an hour or so. I just like to be there with you, Percy continues. He's crazy for asking her. Insane. Gone in the head. And yet she's crazier for wanting to indulge him with a yes. She only stares back up at him. It's evil how tall he's gotten since they first met, at 10 years old, and back then, she was inches above him. Now he stood at a towering 6 feet tall, and she wanted to yank him down to her level every single day. You're asking for a lot there, she says, her voice trailing off. I know, Percy says. He rubs his neck nervously. I'll bake you a whole batch of blue cookies to have to yourself, and I won't leave your side, I swear. Just this once. I really want you to be there with me tomorrow night. Annabeth wants to say she's an idiot for finally agreeing to submit herself to a high school party, of all places. But the way that Percy lights up and pulls her into a crushing hug makes up for the stupidity of her actions. And deep down, it's his promise to not leave her side that really got her in the end. Annabeth, she's never had anyone stay. Not before meeting Percy, at least. He's been with her through all of middle school and never left her. It's been a gleaming lighthouse in the vast sea of abandonment she's used to due to her mom and dad and Thalia, Luke. Only Percy has her back, so maybe sure, it's a dumb idea to agree to, but one could also argue it's a dumb idea to be in love with one's best friend. And Annabeth has been so gone for Percy for years that it's not even funny. So yeah, sue her if it melted her cold, icy insides when he promised to stay by her side. Sue her for wanting him to be with her unlike anyone else in her life had ever been. My palms feel sweaty, Annabeth says, wrapping the sweater sleeves even further up on her arms. Percy had picked her up about 10 minutes ago, and they're almost to the house. She has no idea who is the host, only that they swam on the same club team as Percy and didn't go to their high school. Mom's spaghetti, Percy jokes, and Annabeth rolls her eyes. Annabeth's dress changed 3 times before Percy picked her up in his black car, creatively named Blackjack. At first, she wore a sweatshirt and jeans, then promptly decided it was too casual. Then a sweater dress that she once wore at her father's university award show, before shoving that thing off because, come on, it is a high school party with cheap vodka and tequila. Finally, she threw on a burnt orange sweater and leggings and considered that good enough. Seriously, I hate you for making me leave my house, Annabeth says, but there's no real malice in her voice. A small voice in her brain is championing her to go on and follow through with going to this party to say that she's done it, and to learn how to socialize with people her age better. Put her in a room full of middle-aged parents? She's a hit. Put her in a speech class? Annabeth shrinks in the corner. She's never been a normal high schooler, and maybe that's part of the problem. And maybe going to a party with random drunk kids can be part of the solution. I know you do, Percy says gently. He parks on the street before turning to look at her. But I'm here with you, so I promise it'll be all right and it'll be quick. He looks at her and smiles softly. His eyes are sea green and familiar, and it soothes the erratic beating in her chest. Annabeth nods, and Percy opens his car door. The party is loud. That's not surprising, and Annabeth is surprised she didn't combust upon entering it. She made it through the threshold, and due to her immense pride, she will not be going back. Well, not immediately, at least. Within 20 seconds, Percy is already greeted by some guy with a goofy grin on his face and a bright red drink in a solo cup. Hey, Percy. My man. Thanks for coming. We've been waiting for you. Thanks, Frank. Percy daps him up. This is Annabeth. I've told you about her. I was thinking she'd get along with Hazel. Annabeth waves awkwardly and Frank breaks into a wild look. Oh, everyone gets along with my Hazel. Let me go find her, he says before rushing off to find who Annabeth assumes is his girlfriend. Annabeth smacks Percy lightly before telling him that she doesn't need a babysitter. No, you don't, he admits. I just want you to meet her so you can feel a bit more at ease. He has a point there, but Annabeth refuses to admit it. They go further in the party and work their way to the basement. There's maybe 20 or so people milling around and God knows how many more in the background. Annabeth doesn't know a single person, and she starts to wish that she had met Hazel for at least a hint of comfort. Most people know Percy, and he's wrapped up in idle conversation as she stands next to him awkwardly. In true Annabeth fashion, she takes to surveying the people around her. They're all having a good time. Most people are taking heavy drinks from their cups, each person having a seemingly different colored drink. There's 3 girls on the sofa who are energetically talking, and Annabeth wishes that she could be like that. She wishes she could let loose and make new friends like that. Those girls look pretty and nice, but Annabeth just can't seem to let another soul in. It's scary. Hopefully, but I'm thinking Coach won't mind, Percy says to the guy in front of him, and Annabeth doesn't even know that man's name. Annabeth just stares at Percy as he chats. It's amazing, really, how good Percy is with people. He's never been much of a book-smart person like Annabeth, but man, are his people and street smarts solid. He's a charmer, really, and that only aided in Annabeth's crush on him. Percy's the kindest guy around and so easy to talk to. He knows exactly what to say and when to laugh and when to leave. Annabeth hasn't mastered that art yet, even though she tries. She's just a bit prickly like a cactus. Annabeth looks back at the 3 girls. They would probably know when to laugh or how to flirt with a guy or maybe how to get their best friend to love them back. They're all stunning ladies in different ways, but she's sure they could bat their eyes and boys would just land at their feet. Annabeth looks to the floor and sighs. She needs more friends. More girlfriends in particular, because even though Percy is her best friend, she's lacking in female power in her life. Oh my god, I love your sweater. The cry to her left catches Annabeth off guard, and when she turns, she's faced with a short girl who's clearly sloshed but kindly complimenting her. Instead of being normal, Annabeth stares back with her mouth gaping. The girl laughs in a sweet way and continues to the backyard, and Annabeth curses herself. What a nice girl, and Annabeth is so awkward, she didn't even follow girl code and return the compliment. Determined to be the best girl's girl there ever was, she follows the short girl to the backyard, trying to keep her small figure in sight. The short girl stops at a circle of foldable chairs with people occupying each one, and Annabeth feels her legs go weak. God, she has to do it. She's too prideful to give up, but she's terrified of being received wrong. Everyone in the circle laughs. Annabeth wants to melt. The circle breaks into duos of conversation, and Annabeth knows it's now or never. Do or die time. Hey, she says, and the girl turns away from the conversation to look her way. Annabeth swallows. I like your... She looks the girl up and down. Shoes. They're really nice. Oh, you're just the sweetest ever, she cries out. Her smile is bright and shiny, and Annabeth feels her whole body relax. Annabeth wants to jump up and down in joy. She did it. She overcame her social anxiety. She wants to scream. She wants to celebrate. She wants to grab Percy and tell him all about it. She turns around to go inside and find him. There's more people now, and she has to push past someone to get to him. When she does, she feels her head spin. Percy doesn't see her. He's too preoccupied. There's a girl with pretty red hair leaning on Percy's body, clutching his arm in a way that Annabeth's never ever done before. Annabeth's stomach rolls over and she wants to curl up and never talk to another soul again. The redhead leans in further, if possible, and Annabeth can't bear to watch as her lips come inches from Percy's cheek, arms tugging him towards the stairs and away. She hears his laugh and the girl's giggle of, "Come on, let's go." Annabeth's never known exactly what Percy does at these parties, and she doesn't want to watch and find out. When she heads back around, the short girl sees her face and frowns. Her eyes flicker over and she tisks once. "Oh, sweetie, situationship troubles? I feel you," she sighs. Annabeth opens her mouth to explain that, yeah, that is very much not the case, but she doesn't get the words out fast enough. "I've been there and it sucks. Guys are the worst sometimes," the short girl shakes her head. "I'm Selena, by the way." She wraps her arm in Annabeth's. "And your name?" "Annabeth." "I got you, girl. Come with me." Annabeth smiles slightly. At least she's getting a new friend out of this. Selena drags her back in the house, but through the front door to avoid the basement scene. "So tell me about yourself. What do you like to do?" she says brightly. "Reading," Annabeth says. "And I like video games," she admits. "Are you a Sims type girl?" Selena asks, and Annabeth shakes her head. "Oh, let me put you on it," she says with a giggle. "You can make a whole world, do whatever you want, make a family, kill them, build a house, burn it to the ground, whatever you please." Selena smiles. "I like architecture." Annabeth feels a real smile break out onto her face as Selena squeals with excitement. "That is so perfect. You can build all the houses and buildings, and I'll make Sims for us to play with. We're going to be the best Sims player ever," Selena says, giving her an excited hug. Despite her shock, Annabeth shyly hugs her back. She's made a friend. How exciting. Selena plants her down at the dinner table. It's much quieter up here, and Annabeth really prefers it. It's calmer and less stressful, and Selena's a really sweet girl. She's drunk out of her mind, sure, but also coherent and kind. Apparently attending the same high school as Frank. Annabeth is happy to chat with her, and they even exchange numbers to be friends and start their conjoined Sims world. She's found her footing here at this party, by some miracle. Annabeth is rather proud of herself. "Annabeth?" There's a shout of her name, and no doubt it's Percy. She'll know his voice anywhere, and it's loud and clear. Within a minute, the black-haired boy rushes into the room, and he lets out an audible sigh of relief. "Where did you go?" he says, walking towards her. Selena immediately stands up to block his path, with a hard look on her face. He looks at the girl with confusion. "Don't think you can come back and beg for forgiveness," Selena says. Percy looks even more confused. Annabeth sighs, standing up and letting Selena know that she can stand down. "We're actually just friends," she says with a small smile. Selena wordlessly nods. "I think me and him are gonna head out, though. It was really great meeting you." "I loved meeting you, too." Selena throws herself at Annabeth in a hug. "Text me so we can play Sims. And if you need a vent about him," she says, the last part in a whisper, and Annabeth thanks the kind girl. Percy looks at Annabeth and leads them out the door without a word. They don't speak till they get in the car. The whole time, Annabeth only watches him with a sigh, noticing his messed up hair, probably from rubbing his hands through it. Or maybe the girl was doing that. Annabeth doesn't know, and she kind of doesn't want to know. "Where'd you go? I turned around, and you were gone," Percy says in a small voice as he drives off. It's 1 a.m., so the roads are pretty clear. The sky's dark, and the stars are out. It's peaceful outside. "I wanted to say thanks to Selena for complimenting my sweater." Annabeth blushes and looks out the window. "And then I saw you with the girl going upstairs, and I really didn't want to get in the middle of that." Percy scoffs. "That girl? Annabeth. Girls at parties always want to go up and do stuff, but that doesn't mean I want to go up with them." Annabeth shrinks. She doesn't want to hear about all the girls that hit on him. "Well, I just didn't want to get in the way. I'm not interested in random girls at parties. You know I'm not like that." "I do, You just what?" He's upset. She knows that, and she feels bad. She hates that she scared him, and she hates that she feels jealous of a girl just shooting her shot at a boy. "Annabeth, why would you just disappear like that? I know Frank, and I trust him, but going off with a stranger is so not like you. I brought you there, and it's my job to keep you safe, and you know that. So why would you just be up and gone like that? It really scared me, honestly." His voice grows more frustrated, and Annabeth just wants to jump out of the car, but alas, she can't. Not only is it unsafe, that would also mean she's disappeared from him twice in one night. Annabeth sighs. "I didn't want to watch you leave." She wants to add in a "with that girl," but refrains. Percy stops the car, and it's a red light, so he turns her head to face him. She feels shy in his gaze, because she always feels shy in his gaze, or at least when it's like this, when he's staring deep into her soul. "I wasn't going to leave you. I told you that when I brought you. If anything, you left me first to go find that girl," he says with a teasing smile, before putting his hands back on the wheel. "I would never go with her. I don't want to, and I made you a deal. A girl hitting on me is as normal as when a guy hits on you when we're at the park," he says to Annabeth. But she can hear his teeth grinding down because he absolutely hates it when guys approach her when they're taking his baby sister to the park. It almost makes her laugh. "I know," she says, because she does know. Percy is a man of his word, and he's loyal as can be. "I brought you because I wanted you to be there by my side all night," he tells her, pulling into his driveway. "And I wasn't about to go back on that." Annabeth nods before getting out of the car. "I know." "Do you?" Percy says as they pad into his living room and then his bedroom. "Do you really? So why would you just up and disappear like that?" She can't say it was because she was jealous. Annabeth could not say that. 1, because it's embarrassing, and 2, because Yeah, now is not the time to have the I like you conversation. Were you... He's suddenly behind her, and she almost jumps. Jealous. Annabeth whips around, smacking him in the face with her ponytail. He hacks as she sputters. Go figure, her best friend figured it out. But that doesn't mean she's about to admit it. No! You were. There's a stupid victorious smile on his face. You totally were. He laughs, and Annabeth grows red. She stubbornly insists that she wasn't. She's lying, and they both know it. Annabeth, he says gently, stepping towards her and pulls her into a hug. You never need to feel jealous. Not about this. Not about me. I'm not. She's muffled in a shirt, but at this point, she's just holding on to her pride. Annabeth, you're the only one. You're the only one I want to be with at a party. You're the only one I would want pulling me upstairs to do stuff. You're the only one. You know that, right? I'm not going anywhere because I want you to be with me tonight, and tomorrow night, and every night after that. Annabeth sighs and buries her face in his chest even further, and Percy grumbles a laugh because this is her way of admitting defeat. Fine, we're past your return date, she mumbles. Sure. He pulls back and smiles at her brightly, and Annabeth melts with love. I love you, don't you know that? I'll never leave you because you're coming with me every step I take. I love you too, Percy, Annabeth admits. I love you, and I trust you. You're my best friend, and I hate that you guessed that I was jealous, but you knew it because you know me. I don't ever want you to leave. He holds her close, and she swears she hears their bodies click in place, locked together, forever.